most people misunderstand about building a custom home in Chapel Hill are the additional costs that go into building in this market. Whether it be permitting fees, availability fees for water and or sewer, septic fees if it's septic, and then site work costs. Many of the home sites that we're building on are have severe terrain and or are wooded, and there's some additional costs of basically getting your home prepped. It's not like you're building on a pre-cut, pre-cleared home site. We're truly taking a piece of land from a wooded property to completion. Using a design build process reduces our client's risk by engaging with us, the builder, early. That helps us control costs and truly get a home that our client wants and one that they can afford. Oftentimes, working with architect, there's a lot of an outside architect. There's a lot of opportunity for designs that blow the budget, and what we're trying to do is keep the process aligned with budget, scope, and design, all in house. The difference between fixed price and cost plus is relatively simple. A cost plus project is basically a builder gives you a estimate of what they believe the home is going to cost and charge a markup on top of that, but you actually pay what the home costs and a markup on that. There's no incentive for the builder to reduce costs or to find value engineering, and ultimately you risk paying a lot more than you originally signed up for. The fixed price contract, we give you a fixed price up front. You have a few categories of allowances where you have not made your decisions yet. Think appliances, cabinets, countertops. But that's the only thing that you need to worry about. As long as you stay within those allowance budgets and don't make changes, then your price will be what we quoted you up front and what your contract says. Wow. So turning a client wish list into a full-fledged contract takes some time. So, it starts initially with the design process, knowing what the client needs in their home as far as spaces, sizes, etc. Then taking the specifications that they shared with us, either through meetings and or sharing of idea books or Pinterest boards. And then we take all of that once the contract drawings are in place and spend a good week with my entire team working what we call our scope of work, which is ultimately the meat of our contracts, and getting all those lined up with our clients' desires, the set of plans that we're working from, and the budget that we've been given. And all of that lines up to get our clients' wish list within their price point. I think all three of those, site, finishes, and square footage, can drive the cost. What we see the most of is finish level costs, from exterior veneers to glass, meaning windows and doors. We spend a lot of money in those categories these days. Interior finish levels of cabinetry, countertops, tile, all of this can run, the total cost per square foot up significantly if you're not careful. Some of our clients obviously want what they want and they're willing to spend that money, but some of our other clients that are trying to maintain their budget, we can work with them to get them a beautiful home within that scope. To get a 35 to 4,500 square foot home from start, basically from design agreement all the way through move-in, I would expect the process to take approximately 18 months. That's approximately 6 months worth of design and permitting and 12 months worth of build time. That can vary with different site conditions on the home. Obviously, weather always has a play in it, and also client decision. If you're not making your decisions quickly, then it's going to take a little bit longer to, one, design your home, and then two, to build your home. So we have a mandatory weekly update from all of our construction managers. So that is one form of communication with our clients. We also have mandatory pictures weekly of your home. If you're out of state or just busy and don't get out to the job site, you'll have updated pictures on a weekly basis. But if you look at our true communication, we're communicating with clients, most of the time daily, definitely multiple times a week through different avenues. But we like to, our core is the weekly updates, and many of our clients find that to be enough to make sure that their house is on track and we're doing what we say we're supposed to be doing. So the first three things we check on a lot before advising the clients to buy it are simple. We walk the lot to check tree coverage and slope. Slope severely affects both design and cost of site preparation. So those are two things that we look at. The third one would be utilities. Are there utilities available, or is this a well and septic site? And if so, do we have a soil test or an improvement permit for the septic, just to be sure that we actually can build what they want in the home and get enough bedrooms into their home. We've been in business for nearly 30 years and have been working with all of the jurisdictions around for building custom homes, including Orange County, Chatham County, Durham County, Town of Chapel Hill, and beyond. Plus, we also have homeowners association rules, ARB processes that we get to work with. So we know a lot about this process, and it's not necessarily easy, but with our experience, it makes it relatively easy for us. But the things that limit what you can do are HOA rules. So there's obviously some neighborhoods have home site setbacks that are in addition to the county setbacks. Some neighborhoods will have size limitations, either minimums or maximums, and some neighborhoods will also have their own impervious surface requirements beyond that of the jurisdictions. But some of those things, along with jurisdictional setbacks, solar setbacks in a few jurisdictions where your house can't shade a neighbor's property, these all limit what you can do and you can't do. But that's why you go with an experienced builder, so we can figure that out for you. The way we handle ARB submittals in neighborhoods like the Governor's Club, which has a pretty comprehensive ARB process, is we understand the process first. We guide our clients as to what we need in order to get there and what we don't need just yet, so we can submit for that preliminary as soon as possible. Essentially preliminary is house placement on the site plus elevations and floor plan for the home. And then we kind of get into the finer details after that approval and get the site ready and the home ready for final approval, which usually means landscape plan, erosion control, and stormwater plan, plus final architectural plans. Our recommended pathway to a construction loan is what the industry calls a single close or a temp to perm loan. And basically, you lock in your interest rate up front. During the life of the construction project, the loan is treated as a interest-only loan, and then once you move into your home, they convert it to a fully amortized mortgage, as you're traditionally used to with buying a home. This provides our clients with protection up front on interest rate changes. If they do go down, the banks allow for a float down for a very small fee, so you're protected against the downside too and the upside. And we find that's the best way for our clients to move forward, and that's when I build my own home, that's how I operate with the temp to perm closing. The question was about quality control measures during the construction process. We have construction managers that are required to be on site every day, looking after what our trade partners are doing. We have checklists in place, both daily checklists and milestone checklists, to assure that nothing is missed. And the biggest part is that we partner with contractors that do really, really good work. So on top of our quality control, they're doing their own quality control within their firms and assuring us of a fine, high quality build. We have a single source tool called Builder Trend. It is a project management software tool truly designed for a custom home builder, and we've been using it for over a decade, and we find it to be very helpful with internal operations and also sharing information with our clients. And really, we use it for selections, we use it for change orders, we use it for invoicing on the client side, we use it for purchasing on the trade partner side, and it tracks all of our accounting, selections, all the stuff that we need to share amongst our internal team to build a quality home for you. Changes truly only make sense when a client wants to do it. Unfortunately, in the business, sometimes there's some surprises that come up. We have rock in the ground that we weren't expecting that could produce a change order. But generally, most of our change orders are based on what a client wants. With a custom home and being the first time that we've built this, the client can't always visualize what the home's going to look like. So there's times during the construction phase that they realize that they want to change it, and we're happy to help them make those changes. With that, it comes a cost, but most of the times we walk our clients through why it costs this much and have them make the final decision on whether to move forward. We always tell our clients the earlier you make the change, the better. Obviously, when it's on paper and it's still a plan, it's very inexpensive to make the change. Once the house is complete and you're ready to move in, it's a lot more expensive to make that same exact change. In talking about sustainability, energy efficiency, those are obviously words in the construction industry that we see a lot. We have been focusing for years on just following as many passive energy savings options that we can provide. Simple stuff like we use 2x6 exterior walls, allowing for 50% more insulation over 2x4 exterior walls. We use Tech Shield roof sheathing. This is a radiant barrier that reflects the sun's heat and keeps your attic space cooler by about 15 to 20 degrees. And that, saves on energy costs. We have very well sealed homes, which also help save on energy costs. Sometimes they're so well sealed that we need to put in energy recovery ventilators to make sure that we're getting enough indoor air quality, which is another item that we focus on. We want to be sure that our houses are healthy and energy efficient, and there's a little bit of a trade-off there. And then sustainability, we use as many sustainable products as we can. By nature, all of our lumber going into homes is new growth lumber, and it is a sustainable practice. We offer a full service 1-year warranty, which means we cover anything and everything that could happen into your home. To get up with us on that, some clients use Builder-Trend to submit warranty claims. Some clients email us or call their construction manager. It really depends. If it's an urgent situation, we want to know about it immediately so we can get there to help. If it's something that needs to be addressed later date, a sheetrock pop or some paint touch-ups that need to be done, we like to do those in a sequence of time, 60-day mark and a 1-year mark. But ultimately, even after the 1-year warranty period, we have what we call our lifetime support. And, you have my phone number, you have the rest of the team's phone number. And, if there's anything that's going on with your home that we built for you, we want to know about it. We want to see what we can do to help you with it. Even 20 years down the road, I still get calls from clients that ask questions, and I give them advice on how to maintain their home the best. When interviewing a new custom home builder, these are the 3 things I would ask. Are you a fixed price or a cost plus builder? Who during construction and beyond is going to be my main point of contact? And then finally, can I see any of the homes you built and talk to your previous clients? Those would be 3 great questions to ask. And if you don't get answers to any of those 3, you might want to look at another builder. One of my favorite Chapel Hill projects would be for a client that was looking originally in a subdivision and realized even a 6-acre lot that was not going to work for what their lifestyle they were choosing to live. So we helped them look at larger lots, larger acreage, and ended up dancing around a few, 20 acres here, 10 acres there. They landed on a 20-acre parcel, and then were able to purchase some land around it and ended up assembling about a 60-acre parcel, which was more in line with what they were looking for long term. With that, it allowed them to build the beautiful home that they wanted, a amazing swimming pool, detached garage, a pavilion for outdoor living, and then beyond that, a horse barn, which was awesome. And we were involved in every aspect of those projects. And I think the true great part about that is we were able to kind of work with this client from start to a change to a finish and get them happily in their new home. Question is about what do repeat clients say about Bold, or what do clients say about Bold? Interestingly enough, not surprising in this industry, is that we've actually had a few repeat clients, two people that have built multiple custom homes with us. They've come back to us later in life when they wanted to change their lifestyle, downsize, upsize, and build a new home. I think what people say about us is we're here, we're there for them. They know that we care about them, not only short term but long term, and then we're here to help them, again through that lifetime support process. All right, so if you're thinking about building a custom home, this is where you should start. Start looking at, online, on Pinterest, house, find the style that you want, find the look that you want, and then start truly thinking about the spaces that you want. Arm yourself with that information, so when you're talking to builders, which would be the next step, calling builders, talking to them about their process, you can share that information with them. If they're a design build firm like us, we can certainly take that information and bring you into house pretty quickly and get you started on the design process. Now, if they're not a design build firm, you may have to spend some time with an architect outside of the build process to get moving on those plans. But that's what I would do if I was looking to start a home. Create that idea book in house, create that Pinterest board, and be ready with all that information to share with your builder. The next step, if you want to look to work with Bold Construction, is to speak to our Director of Sales, Cameron Yates, and he will schedule you for a Let's Talk meeting. That's when you come in and introduce yourself to us. We introduce ourselves to you and share our philosophy on building, and you share your desires for your home. If we're a fit, then we would move on to a next step, which would be a design agreement, and get the process started for you.